G'day guys, welcome back to the Outpost YouTube channel. Today we are checking out the Canik Rival-S. The Rival-S is the newest addition to Canik's lineup, and the S designation stands for steel frame. So they're doing it in a chrome version, which is what we've got here, and also a dark version, or black. I honestly don't mind the finish on the chrome. Some people, it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but it's good to see something different. And yeah, being a steel frame gun, you really... that bumps the price up on it, and you're really starting to compare it with other steel frame guns now, rather than comparing it to Canik's other handguns, which are all polymer frame guns. It still uses the same recoil mechanism as a polymer frame gun does. It doesn't have a fully supported slide, but overall, that extra weight in the frame makes it much nicer to shoot, and tames the recoil, makes it a lot flatter, and all around makes it a really enjoyable gun to shoot. Now this sort of fits into the market, and really what we're comparing it to is the likes of, say, a CZ Shadow 2 optics ready, which certainly is tough competition because there's a lot of people using those Shadow 2s and they love them, and there's a reason for that. They are great guns. These are significantly cheaper than a Shadow 2. Shadow 2s are anywhere north of $2,500 to $3,000 depending on where you can find them, and these are only just over the $2,000 mark. So the black version is from memory under $2,100, and the chrome you pay a little bit more for. It's $2,150-ish, once again depending on where you find it. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this gun. One thing that it comes with that the likes of a Shadow 2 and some other guns don't come with is, similar to their polymer frame guns, all of the different optic mounting plates. So there's a heap of them in the case. There's a heap of other cool bits and pieces that come with it as well. A little toolkit, cleaning gear, a holster, a little mag loader, and the case that these things come in is actually a half decent case for once, as opposed to, Shadows, the CZs are a good example of just coming in a really basic little case. These things actually come in a decent sealed hard case that you can fit your gear in. You are getting good value for money with this. Is it going to perform as good as a Shadow 2? No, it's not. Shadow 2 is a very well designed gun. That full supported slide makes a big difference. So Shadow 2s are definitely a refined gun. This is Canik's first go at a steel frame gun, and I think they've done a pretty good job. And given the price difference, I think that this stands on its own 2 feet, and it has a lot of merit when you compare it to other steel frame guns. So let's get into the specs on this thing. It weighs in at 2.6 pound or 1,185 grams. Its overall length is 205 mil long, or more or less 8 inches. Barrel length is 5 inches, or more or less 127 mil long. It's about 36 mil wide, not including the slide racker, which you can mount to an optics plate if you would like. It's got a roughly 3.5 pound trigger, which is actually really nice, and it breaks almost at 90 degrees. I can't speak highly enough for the trigger. The most notable of these specs that differs from the normal Rival SFX polymer frame gun is the weight. So the polymer frame gun is 836 grams or 29.5 ounces. So that's a pretty big weight increase, and that's all extra weight that's in the frame. So that's making a huge difference to the way it shoots. Another thing to note too about the frame is it's got some really nice checkering, and the interchangeable back strap is also super grippy. yeah, all in all, this thing just stays where you put it. Also to note is the little panel just in front of the takedown lever is checkered as well, which makes a good spot for your thumb to go and helps sort of really bear down on the gun and keep it under control. That's it on paper. Let's see how it shoots. Okay, we've put a few 100 rounds through it now. My first impressions are that it shoots, well, I suppose I shouldn't say surprisingly, but it shoots quite flat. It's got quite a big slide on it. It's definitely, like a more traditional pistol. It's not like some of these guns you see coming out now that have a really low bore axis. So for a traditional pistol, yes, you can get back on target a lot quicker than you can with the polymer frame version of these. That bit of extra weight in the frame certainly makes sense, and as you would expect, it makes it shoot quite a bit flatter. We've had a few feeding issues with it. We tried the Syntec ammo first, and it's a slightly longer overall length, and it really didn't like that to start off with. We swapped over to some stuff that's a copper wash projectile, like a Tiger Shark projectile, and it liked that a lot better, although we found still after a few 100 rounds it needed to be cleaned, so we stopped halfway through and gave it a clean because there was quite a bit of carbon building up on the feed ramp on the barrel. I think with some shooting it should be fine. A lot of semi-automatic firearms in general quite often take a few rounds to sort of start getting sort of slicked up and running reliably, and this is no different. If you wanted to avoid that problem altogether, you probably could polish the feed ramp a little bit. The machining on the feed ramp is a little rough, but as I said, after a few 100 rounds it's not going to give you any grief. Okay, so now that we've sort of broken it in a little bit, shooting falling plate, we thought at 10 yards we would see what it shoots. Now, using a red dot makes this target shooting aspect a lot easier, as well as with the falling plates, but we can see here that with the exception of one or maybe two there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So shoots as good as we'd expect it to at 10 yards. We'll patch this and we'll try it at 25 and see what we do. We've done plate rack and put some shots at the target, and yeah, it's a very accurate gun, and geez, it's fun to shoot. The two different types of ammo we used were 115 grain Syntec and a 124 grain copper wash, which was from Gecko. We noticed we started off using the Syntec ammo, and the flat point on the ammo was giving us grief and getting hung up on the feed ramp. So we switched to the Gecko ammo, and that ran a lot better. We did still notice though that as we shot the gun and that feed ramp fouled up, that we started to have some feeding issues again. So we sort of had to stop every probably 100, 150 rounds and give that feed ramp a clean to get it to keep cycling properly. This is pretty normal for new guns, and we'd expect that that feed ramp will sort of polish up with use. And we certainly found that while ever it was clean, it ran fine. But when it fouled up, that we started to have issues. Now, given that this isn't a fully supported slide and the barrel is not fully supported either, we didn't expect it to shoot extremely well compared to a lot of other target guns that feature that sort of engineering. But needless to say, we were very surprised. It shot very well. As far as accuracy goes for this thing, we were pretty surprised. I mean, it uses the same slide and barrel locking mechanism as their polymer frame handguns, and they all shoot pretty well. So we expected it to be every bit as good as them, but this gun definitely exceeded that. You can see here the group that we shot at 10 meters was very impressive, and then when we stretched it out to 25 meters, we sort of were rushing by this stage of the day because we had to be off the range, and you can see that in the vertical string that I've got going on there. But all in all, we were really happy with it. It compares very well to the likes of a fully supported slide and bushed barrel. You know, I don't think I can shoot a Shadow 2 any better than I shot this thing. That's about it. All in all, would I buy one? Yes, I have bought one. And I'm really looking forward to getting this thing down to shoot some IPSC with it. It fits the bill for production optics. So yeah, I'm going to give it a red hot crack. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it performs as it starts to get a bit higher round count. We've done about 500 odd rounds through it now, and it's really starting to slick up. The trigger has been nice right out of the box. Should you buy one? If you're looking to shoot production optics at IPSC, or even if you're just looking to target shoot at a range, it's proven that it's actually quite capable at doing a good job of that as well. The steel frame is a big winner if you're getting into shooting a centerfire, because that extra weight in the frame makes it a lot more tame. The recoil is much more manageable with it. And for the rapid fire aspect of IPSC, you get that dot back quite quickly. You can take your second shot very fast, and I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of them around. For us as a shop, we haven't had more back orders for any gun ever than we have for the Rival-S. So we had quite a number of these on back order when the first shipment showed up. We still do have a couple left available out of the first shipment at the moment, but we're going to keep seeing more of them come in. And I think as they start showing up on the ranges and people start saying, oh, what is that? I think you'll start seeing a lot more of them around. They've really nailed it, and they've been winning a lot of awards with this gun in America as well. I am loving it, and I'm going to keep loving it for a while, I think. Okay, we're going to do a quick field strip. Nothing new here, very similar to the rest of their models, and also a lot of polymer frame handguns are similar to this. You've got your takedown lever here. First thing you want to do, always check the gun is empty. You shouldn't have any ammo around when you're doing maintenance on your gun. Once it's been cleared, you will need to decock it. And then once you've done that, you push down the takedown lever on both sides. The frame will come backwards, or the slide will come forwards. Move it forward just a fraction more, and then away it goes. You can see here that the frame is only supported in these 4 points, which is what I'm referring to when I talk about not a fully supported slide. But anyway, that gives you easy access to your frame to clear and clean that. And then for the slide, you just simply pull out your recoil, captive recoil spring and guide rod. Barrel will come away. You can then clean your barrel, and then you can clean your slide. And then to put it back together is exactly the same in reverse. We'll just quickly drop the barrel in, guide rod and recoil spring back in, and then I'll just turn this around. You can see that there is a cutout in the slide here. That's what you want to line up with that front part of the frame. If you drop that onto the gun over that slide, then apply some downward pressure, and slide it back. That's it, it's back on. Your takedown lever has come back up. The gun will function. Rack it, do a quick function test, you're good to go. So, drop into your nearest gun shop, check one out, and if you see someone on the range with one, ask them to have a go of it. It's a great bit of gear, it's really fun to shoot. Yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Cheers for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and keep an eye out for more content.